Good afternoon. My name is Lucía Costa. I work in the Polypropylene Technical Service and Development Department. And today I will be talking to you about the different initiatives that Repsol has developed and adopted in relation to food safety. Just to give you some context, polyolefins cover more than 2/3 of the materials used for food packaging. Over 70% of our polyolefins are marketed to the food sector, and over 50% of our customers are in the food industry. So this is a very relevant sector for us. Repsol is a responsible company, and all our actions and decisions are based on 5 principal values, which are innovation, responsibility, flexibility, transparency. As raw material producers, we are well aware that we have a social responsibility to not only develop products that offer certain properties to the final polymer, but to the final product, but also that are safe and of the highest quality. So we have worked many years in the food industry, and we have a lot of activities and a lot of different products to offer for food packaging. Right, so today, as I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, I'll be going through a food safety program, which includes 4 different activities. Our food safety consulting service, our Mural project, which is aimed to develop analytical techniques to quantify mineral oil hydrocarbons and also be able to determine the barrier performance of packaging solutions. Our Nature project, which is the development of grades with no substances subject to specific migration limits, and our certification FSSC 22000, which we've obtained in our different polyolefin production sites. So in 2018, Repsol became the very first polyolefin producer to have certified their production sites with the FSSC 22000. The FSSC 22000 is a food safety scheme that is based on the ISO 22000 and is recognized by the Global Food Safety Initiative. It's based as a set of prerequisites and the need to establish a hazard and critical control point system analysis. And this works in the way that we establish protocols and the need to identify possible hazards in our process along every step of the way. So through this HACCP system, where different members of our company were involved, so from production to manufacturing, lab technicians, and even members of HR, we were able to define and put into place protocol and made important investments in our production sites. All in all, we invested over 8 million euros in all 3 of our production sites, which are in Sines, in Portugal, Tarragona, and in Puerto Llano, in order to adapt our production sites to the requirements established with the FSSC 22000 certification. It was quite challenging because the certification was initially very specific to the food industry, so we had to adapt the certification to the reality of our chemical industry. But we managed to establish a very robust system that meets the requirement of the food industry, of final consumers, and it's been well recognized in our customers. The second project that I want to talk to you about is the Mural project. So, as you may know, if you're in the food packaging industry, mineral oil hydrocarbons has been cause for concern in the recent years. So, the alerts triggered by organizations such as Food Watch demonstrated years ago, and they sent out news that mineral oil hydrocarbons were found in certain chocolate products. And this was because oil-based inks, or substances from oil-based inks, have migrated from the food package into the food. So this caused for quite some alert and the need for companies to look into this closely and to establish methods to quantify these substances. So At the moment, there's no legislation establishing the limits set on MOAs, but the European Commission has asked member states to monitor the presence of mineral oil hydrocarbons and communicate these to the EFSA, European Food Safety Agency. So all in all, there's quite some confusion at the moment because there's no one single method and standardized method to quantify these substances, but there's a lot of work being put into place. At Repsol, through the Mural project, we have we've put into place a chromatologic method in order to quantify mineral oil hydrocarbons, both saturated hydrocarbons and aromatic hydrocarbons, in order to quantify these substances in different packaging solutions. Also, we've developed a screening test where we're able to analyze a large range of different food packaging solutions and determine the barrier performance of the packaging solutions to mineral oil hydrocarbons. And therefore, we're able to give the best solution and tell our customers, well, this food package provides better barrier performance of mineral oil hydrocarbons, and that way you can minimize the risk of penetration of the mineral oil hydrocarbons into the foods. Over the last 10 years, Repsol has worked on the development of phthalate-free polypropylenes, and we did this in close cooperation with industry partners and also through a wide range of different lab tests and pilot plant tests. And currently, we are able to offer a full range of homopolymers, random copolymers, and heterophasic copolymers that are free of phthalates through these alternative catalysts. Moving on to the Nature project, as I mentioned earlier, this is a project in order to reduce the amount of substances subject to specific migration limit. In polyolefins, generally all polyolefins have, as you know, if you're in the industry, some substance subject to SMLs. Specifically in our portfolio, over 90% of our polyolefins contain at least one substance subject to specific migration limit. So this project started with, we identified the need to try and reduce the amount of SMLs. And this was done through looking for alternative catalysts and also alternative additives, which would essentially be able to reduce the amount of SMLs. One specific example where we've achieved this is, for example, in our cast film portfolio, we eliminated ethoxylated amine as an antistatic agent in our cast film grades, and we substituted it with an alternative antistatic agent without SMLs. And this is beneficial and valuable for our customers and final food packaging companies because for various reasons. It gives them more flexibility in terms of the package that they're able to design. It gives them fewer limitations in terms of the food that they're able to store in the package. And then obviously as well for cost savings because it enables them to reduce costs for migration tests in external labs. We have a team of experts in our product stewardship, in our technical service and development lab, which specializes in product stewardship and in updating the regulatory status of our polyolefins. And we also have a very technical team that has a lot of experience in our lab. We offer a tailored advisory service in food safety to all our customers, where this is a sort of workshop that's carried out, that's done in our R&D center, where we tackle different issues regarding regulatory status in polyolefins, and usually we look into issues such as helping to interpret migration test results, interpreting new legislations that will come into play. We also carry out theoretical simulations for our customers. And we also often give advice on the most suitable raw materials to be used depending on the final application. So this is a service that we offer to our customers free of charge, where we give them more guidance in terms of regulatory statuses and product stewardship. So those are the initiatives that I've talked to you about are the initiatives that included in our food safety program. Repsol, as I mentioned at the beginning, we want to be leaders in food safety, and through these different initiatives that we tried is to give support to our customers throughout the entire value chain. So from developing the raw material to offering the production of materials that are really safe, and giving any type of technical expertise that we may help in. So thank you very much for being here, for listening to my presentation, and I'll be happy to take any questions you may have.